Most preppers seem to be middle-aged or even older, and with age comes more difficult health issues, more difficulty getting things done. We get less fit. You know, if you don't stay active all the time, your health, your abilities are going to keep declining. And even if you do try to stay active all the time, if you eat correctly, if you exercise all the time, over time, it's still going to get more difficult to get things done. Things are going to happen. It's natural with age. With age comes more difficulty gardening, more difficulty hunting, trapping, doing pretty much anything that requires any physical movement or activity becomes more difficult as you get older. And with preppers being middle-aged, a lot of preppers get discouraged because middle-aged are even, up in their 70s and 80s. I've seen a lot of people here commenting that say they're in their 70s that are prepping. That's great, but it's difficult. I definitely understand how difficult that it is because, I'm in my early 50s right now. I have a bad back, I have bad knees. So things are more difficult for me also, so I definitely understand. I can go out, and I can work in the garden. I can dig, I can plant, and by the end of the day, my back is usually stiff. It's usually, I'm walking like this for 2 or 3 days afterwards with my back, hurting so bad down in those discs in that lower back. My knees, the same way. So it's difficult, it truly is, but we need to try to get in as good a shape as we can for our age and try to stay healthy as we can for our age. A lot of people make the mistake as we get older, when we start working out, start trying to improve our health, that we want to be able to compete with a 20-year-old. It's possible for, a 60-year-old man or a woman to compete with a 20-year-old, but you'd have to be in top condition for that age, have to really have taken care of yourself during your lifetime and not really have any health issues to be able to do that. And it's possible, but most of us aren't going to be able to do it. Most of us will never be in the health we were when we were in our 20s. I don't think I ever will be. When I was in my 20s, I could go. I did martial arts, I could kick, I could do spinning roundhouse kicks, I could do wheel kicks, I could do jump kicks. I could do a lot with the kicks. Now, hips cause a problem. If I rotated my hips around to do the roundhouse kick, unless it was real low, if I tried to do it high, I'd have to pop my hip out. And I'd be in pain probably for 2 weeks after that with my hip and my back because of the pressure and because of the angle that would put that in. So I don't even try anymore. I don't even try to kick anymore like that. Front kick, I can still do that pretty good. Kick to the balls, I can do that pretty good still. Or a low roundhouse kick to the leg or the knee, I can do that. But as far as those high kicks anymore, I just can't do it. So I don't try any longer. And sometimes you have to realize you can't do what you could do when you're in your 20s. It's possible, like I said, but not likely. So you need to focus on improving your health, but focus on your individual health. Don't look at, everyone else. Don't compare yourself to a 20-year-old. Don't think that you're going to be in your 70s and be able to compete in a marathon. It's possible, but not likely. So you're better off not to even focus on that. Just focus on your own health, what you need to do, and what you need to improve, and try to improve that 10% at a time. If you have weight to lose, try to lose 10% of that weight that you need to lose at a time. If you can walk a certain distance or run a certain distance, and you want to improve that, then over time try to improve that distance by going 10% further. Focus on those small gains. Don't try to focus on those gains that are unreachable, because if you do that, you'll give up. So preppers definitely need to have a routine to try to get in better shape. Diet, exercise, lose some weight. I could lose 20 pounds of my own, so if I'm 194 pounds right now, 5'9" and 194 pounds. And a lot of it up in this area here is muscle. Actually, all my fat's right here. I have a little in my stomach right here. I'm not huge, you can see, but I could lose 15, 20 pounds myself. I walk my knees hurt, my back hurts, and all because of the arthritis and stuff that actually runs in my family. My great-grandpa on my dad's side, his mom's dad, he had arthritis so badly that he got bedridden. He got so bad that he went to bed and couldn't get back up. He just laid there because he was in so much pain. So he got bedridden by the arthritis. My grandma, his daughter, her hands were like this. She died at 74, I think that it was. And her hands were like this, not swollen up. Her hands looked pitiful. My dad, his wrist, it set on his wrist arthritis did. Had big knots and swollen up in his wrist. I mean, his wrist looked awful. And it's difficult to do things when you have things like arthritis, when you have bad knees and you have a bad back, when you have health issues. But try to improve 10% at a time. Look at yourself individually, what you need, how much weight you need to lose, what flexibility, balance are important, grip strength are important, endurance is important, obviously, and get in the best shape that you possibly can for you. Tailor your diet, your physical fitness program to you individually, to your needs, to your age, to your capabilities, and try to improve 10%. And then when you reach that 10%, try to improve, another 10% if you can. But sometimes, you have to, even though we want to be independent, sometimes we have to get help. Sometimes we can't do things on our own. We have to get some help. We have to ask for help, or we have to pay someone to come and help us. Like if you have to put in a garden. I can still manage myself right now, but who knows in the future? I can put in, raised beds, I can shovel dirt and fill those up, and I can garden. I can build things, but like I said, it takes a little longer now. And usually my back hurts and my knees hurt, and the next day, like I said, I'm walking like this because, I'm stiff. So it takes a few days to get over it. I can still do it, but who knows in the future, 10 years from now, if I'll be able to do it. So I may have to hire someone to come and help on some things. If I can't do it, I have to swallow my pride and realize, hey, I need some help here. And call a friend, call a family member, call a cousin, call someone to come and help. And if you can't do that, then you have to call someone and pay them to come and help you. It does happen. Sometimes you have to pay, a handyman. You have to pay someone to come and do odd jobs around your place. If you have to have something built, you may have to hire someone to come and build it. You may have to buy it pre-built, like a garage or a storage building or a chicken coop. You may have to buy it pre-built, have it delivered and set it up instead of building it yourself. You may have to hire someone to build it. If you need steps built on your porch, you may have to hire someone to come and do that because you can't bend down to get that done anymore. If you have to have a garden put in, raised beds, you can get the raised bed set up, but you might not be able to shovel. You don't have to, if you have a tractor, that's great. You can just take it and dip it up and put it in the raised beds and fill those up. If you're gonna do it with a shovel, you may have to hire some help. You may have to hire some teenagers to come and do it for you to get it done. Once you get it done, you have it, then you can keep growing your garden, keep preparing, keep getting ready. But you have to swallow your pride sometimes and get some help. Join in a group. If there's a prepper group or you're starting a prepper group. If you have a prepping group and they are middle-aged and older people, several of those people can do a lot more than one of those people. You have one 60-year-old guy can do so much, but if you have 10 60-year-old guys, they can do a whole lot more to work together. So, having a group to help out is good. Having friends to help out, people you can call to help, having a community is a huge plus as you get older when you're prepping. So don't be ashamed, to have to hire help if you need to ask for help, to ask a friend, to ask a group member, a church member to come and help. If they don't want to, then they probably weren't much of a friend in the first place. And if they need help, you can go help them. Or, like I said, and what I prefer to do actually is to actually pay somebody to come and do it, because if it's something I can't do myself, which I've been able to do things myself, but if I had to pay someone to come and do something, I would, if I had to have someone to come and do something, I'd rather pay than to get them to come and do it for free. Because if they come and do it for free, then they expect something back. And I'd rather go ahead and just get it out of the way and pay them to come and do it. That's just like this roof here. I had metal put on it. And anything I have done on the top of the roof, I can get up there as far as actually getting up there and doing it. But I don't like heights that high. A common size, you know, I can get up on, but this thing here is actually 2 stories. The way it comes up is on this side over here, the far side and this side is actually 2 stories tall. This side here is about 1.5 stories because of the basement and the way it's set up. But you're up pretty high when you get on top of this, and I don't like those heights. So when I need something done up there, instead of doing it myself, I'll hire someone to come and do it. And I will admit, I don't like that kind of height, being up that high on that building. Because, you know, that metal roof, you could trip, you could fall, boom, dead. And as you get older, you know, your balance sometimes gets off. I have trouble with my ears because of the allergy problems I have. And sometimes, you know, I'll get dizzy because of that. Don't need to be up high on things like that when you feel that way. So hiring someone to come and help is something not to shy away from. So anyways, guys, don't get discouraged because you're older. Don't get discouraged because, you know, health issues, because a lot of things you can improve. You can improve with diet. You can improve with some more activity, with a fitness program. And if you can't do things, get some help. Don't have too much pride that you get yourself hurt trying to do things yourself that you should have hired someone else to do or had a friend come and help you with. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.